All right, traders, welcome back to Finspoke channel. In this video, I break down three pairs, EURUSD, GBPUSD, and USDJPY, showing you my bias, my entry logic, and how I manage my risk. If you are coming across my video for the first time, my name is Juliet and this is Finspoke channel. Do well to hit the like button and subscribe. Turn the notification bell on. Let's get into the chart.
Let's look at this Euro USD setup that I am currently on. I'm currently on the trade, and you can see that price is at the resistance zone at around 1.19075. Price has been struggling or has struggled around this zone to go above, meaning that price wants to break this level, but it has not been able to break this level, so sellers are waiting. This is a price action indication. There's a rejection here, and that's one of the criteria that made me to take the trade. This is the resistance zone and this is the daily support zone, so I'm going to work with this as we move down. Now for my bias, or what I call market context bias, the bias is bearish, and that bearish is a correction or more of a pullback from the rally, from the move to the upside. From this move to the upside. So we see this as a correction move or bearish correction move. Like I mentioned before, the price is at 1.1975 at the resistance, daily resistance zone, and 1.18374 at the daily support zone. The key point here is this: price is testing this zone, this current daily resistance zone. Price is testing it. You can see that price didn't get to this level. It got to this level and it reversed. It hit this point and is trying to reverse, get to this level. I mark black, and it's trying to push down, as we can see. So price is trying to test this zone. That's the key thing here. That is why we are experiencing this rejection, my bias, or this week. And what this is telling us is potential short setup, which is one of the reasons I am taking this trade. Now for my confluence, why I picked this trade, I checked my EMA 9. These are the two indicators I use to confirm my bias. I didn't use them to make decisions, but I use them to confirm my bias. Permit me to adjust my line on EMA. Okay, so usually before I use this EMA, I normally allow price to close below. Price cross the EMA 9 and close below, which is this sign that it gave me before I took the trade around here. So let's look at the RSI. Relative Strength Index. So you can see that RSI already hit 70 and is also pushing down. That's also what gave me a confirmation before I took this trade. I actually entered this trade early. This isn't London session, but this trade I am seeing it as something that will actually push during the London session. So guys, I short this trade not exactly at this resistance zone. I already got my confirmation from Emma and see price pushing down before I short this trade. Is a little bit below the resistance point, but still at the resistance zone. You can see my entry point is at 1.18748. My stop loss is at 1.18998 and my take profit is at 1.18213. This trade is 1:2.14 risk to reward. But this is to encourage someone that when you get a trade that is at 1:2 risk to reward, with your confirmations, go take the trade. I recorded both the analysis and the trade itself, and I will show you how it plays out inside this video. Now take my execution rule. Before I execute a trade, I normally pay attention to what price is doing. I use price action as well as smart money concept. Let me introduce SMC in this. Let's see if we actually have something that will drag price down. Now, as you can see around here, we have fair value gap at this 15 minutes. That price will also come to take out. Can you see? This is 1 hour time frame. These are FVGs that are mitigated and the ones that are yet to be mitigated. Now look at an interesting thing here. This is gap in the market. This is gap in the market. Now, whenever we see a gap in the market, be rest assured that price will definitely come to fill up that gap, especially if it has to do with a common gap. We have 4 types of gap, but this one looks like a common gap. Now, there's an FVG here already before this gap, doubling the FVG as you can see it twice. One is caused by higher time frame in a market inefficiency, and the second gap here is caused by market gap where price open. So that's also the things I am looking at that made me to short this trade. And I will actually monitor this trade. If it means to swing, I might swing the trade. That is, if the move continue to the downside, I will need to adjust both my take profit as I am adjusting my stop loss as the trade move. Now take my execution rule. I look out for rejections, rejection candle at a resistance zone, pin bar like this, or an engulfing candle. So whenever I see this, it tells me price is being rejected. And you can see that it already hit 70 and it's turning, it has already pushed down anyway, showing that price is falling. And I use this EMA. I like using EMA, especially when I want to scalp. I use this EMA 9, waiting for price to close below like this, which it already gave me a signal. Let's look at the next setup. Let's take a look at GBPUSD. Generally, is in a downtrend. The general bias is downtrend. So let's hold over to the daily time frame I already mark the daily resistance zone and the daily support zone, which is the previous day high and low. It gives me insight of what price did previously before I start my new day. We can see price ranging around 1.37144 as our resistance zone. Then the support zone, we are seeing the support zone, we can see price at 1.36488. These are the recent support and the resistance, which is the previous day high and low. Now you can see the current price at around 1.37011 and is showing signs of rejection, which means potential short setup. That's what it means. If you look at the zone where price is, you see a lot of wicks showing rejections at this higher time frame. When this is 2 hours time frame and price is more of ranging. I have not entered this trade. I will enter this trade strictly on confirmation at the lower time frame. This is the 1 hour time frame. You can see the last break of structure before price hit this resistance zone and pull back. I am trying to look at the order block, but for now the order block has not formed. So I am going with price action. I'm looking at what price is doing. That's what I'm following on this. Now at the 30 minutes time frame, I'm able to get a glimpse. The reason I said I will enter this trade strictly on confirmation is because I want to be sure that price is ready to push to the downside, even when we have confirmations or tools that helped us to confirm that price is actually giving us a short signal. Let's look at the indicators that helps me to confirm my bias and see if the market makers actually has interest in the downside. Around this area, we have all of these things are liquidity areas, as well as these ones. That is one. I want to check if there are FVGs at the downside. I am sure we will get. Let's check. Can you see? This is 30 minutes time frame. We have mitigated FVGs and unmitigated ones. Let's quickly look at the 1 hour time frame. You can see also mitigated and unmitigated, all fell to the downside. Let's look at 2 hours. At the 2 hours level, we have FVG. And at the 4 hours level, we also have FVG, though mitigated. So I will want to see and be sure that price is ready to push to the downside before I take this trade. So that's our confluence number 1. SMC indicator showing us that price has interest at the lower time frame. This is EMA9 at the 1 hour time frame. The rule on this EMA is when price cross this line and close below is signaling sell, and when it crosses it and close above just like this is signaling buy. And price actually gave us a signal around here, and around here. This thing is blocking it though. So but the signal is not that too strong. You can see that price is actually trying to push up to where I mark my first entry. Okay, price, you can see price is above. It has not crossed the EMA 21 at the 1 hour time frame, so it still boils down to what I'm saying. These are my confluences or what I would want to use to confirm that yes, price is ready to push down before I will take this trade. Like I said, I will take it strictly on confirmation. All right, let's look at the another indicator, that is relatively strength index. Okay, this is showing us this is level 70 and price is actually below level 70, telling us that price is actually pushing down. But you can see that the strength is trying to face to the upside. It works, all of these indicators is moving as price is moving. So we need to see a clear confirmation before we can actually short this GBPUSD. I hope you are getting value in this. The next thing we want to look at is news. So this is the news. Around 9 a.m., there will be Euro high impact news on unemployment rate. And I think that's all. GBP doesn't have any high impact news. So we are safe to take this trade, but we are going to watch and monitor and see how it goes before we can take the trade. Now take the entry. Now this the entry. Short the trade after confirmation at 1 minute, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes time frame at 1.3690 to 1.37044. Puts targeting 1.36488 as your TP and your SL at 1.37240. Remember, risk management is key. Don't risk more than 1 to 2% of your account size on this trade. And this trade is strictly on confirmation before we take it. This is USDJPY. Now looking at this pair, generally it is bullish. But when you try to read the structure very well, you see that it created or it gave us a CHoCH around here. This is daily time frame. It gave us a CHoCH. USDJPY formed the CHoCH. I would say that the USDJPY formed this CHoCH, which is an indication that the sellers have taken over. So I'm expecting price to pull back before continuing this bearish trend. That pullback will actually help us to confirm that indeed this trend has reversed. The key levels here, we have 159.213 to around 159.485, looking at the key level. And that's the key resistance zone. And the support zone, we have around 154.515, around this zone. That's our support zone. So this current move to this upside is actually what I see as a pullback, or what we call a correctional move. So it's a pullback, not a continuation of this trend for now, until we see price get back to this resistance zone and they break this level. That's when we can say that the trend is actually continuing. But for now, it gave us CHoCH and we expect a pullback, a confluence before we can take this trade. First, price failed to create another high, as you can see here. So price failed to create another high at the daily time frame or generally. Rather, it gives us this CHoCH. Then we witness this rejection here, indecision candle in between before this pullback, then this rejection candle. Let's look at Fibonacci and see what this is where the swing started from here. Now looking at this pullback, if you don't know how to use this Fibonacci retracement, I will leave a link on a video that I made that explains how this Fibonacci retracement works. You go and watch it so that you gain more knowledge. If this pullback and around this 0.3 zone, it could likely mean that the trend is strong. And if it gets to this 0.5 and 0.6 zone, that is a retest to the support zone. As you can see, this is 0.5 around this support zone, and this on a flip zone, this 0.6 on a flip zone. I will not take this trade. I'm not buying. I'm waiting for price to pull back into these Fibonacci zones, meaning that I'm waiting for the end of this pullback. If price get back to these Fibonacci zones, then I'll take a sell from there. That's also a strong confirmation. Or price returning back to this resistance zone, then I can take a sell. For this buy, I am not taking this buy. Like I do say, risk management is always important in anything that you are doing. Risk only 1 to 2% of your account size, or at most 3%. Don't exceed that.
All these three pairs I analyzed are based on market structure and confluence. First, identify the higher time frame bias. Pullbacks into the key levels. Use some indicators to confirm your bias, making it part of your confluence. Then wait for price action confirmation before you take a trade at the lower time frame. The current one that I displayed or I showed you is a live trade. That is EURUSD. I actually entered that trade earlier and it was aggressive entry. You can see how I adjusted my stop loss in the video, and the trade is actually running smoothly. Till I come your way next time, thank you. And do well to join our live session every Wednesday.